I'm building an Orc Stronghold from TT Combat. Right, here's the pieces. There are 12, count them. It is a quick moving thing. Right, first section. Let's get this lined up. As you can see, it's fairly straightforward. We push those pieces in. It lines up. And then we put the bottom on. But what's going to happen? There are little teeth that you can't see in between those points to keep the curve. And they're going to cause me problems in a second. So they're going to get a light file. And then we're going to reposition it all and start all over again. Because we know what I'm like. This isn't that complicated to build, to be honest. I quite enjoy doing it. It's orky. It looks orky. There's a lot of detail on it. I have got it sprayed up and I'm presently rusting it over. We will eventually obviously run it for a game. It's very... Here comes the file. You've got to do this. That's why we have square files. Where was I? I will be running it for a game at some point. I am probably going to hold off till 11th edition for 40k. I have an Orc army. It needs a bit of love, but I'll get around to it. Here I am just scraping the those inner spikes because they hold the curve quite just into position. Right, what you won't see with this one is me gluing it. You will see it forming on the table behind you as we go along. I sat and I built this in an afternoon, and then yeah, this was a mistake, by the way. These bits all go in specific ways round. So you need the right bit going to the right side, and I'd obviously not paid attention and filed it in because it doesn't look like it's going to go in, and it's right, it wouldn't do. It did need filing a little bit, but it's just that slight variation. How's everyone anyway? How's everyone's year going? Everyone enjoy salute? So there you go. See, and go on, pop. It pops in. Yay! What you don't see is the fact that I built this 3 times. I built this once to prove I could build it, and then I took it to bits, and then I built it again on video to try and make it look a little bit better and to try and reduce the length of the videos. And then I built it again, but this time I glued it. So it's all PVA glued up. You don't see me glue it on this one because you don't need to. The whole build in total, I think, was about 2.5, 3 hours. But obviously I'm building it once, I'm taking it to bits, I'm filming it, I'm taking it to bits, I'm gluing it, I'm done. You could probably get it done in an hour and a half if you wanted to. I do suggest gluing it though in each section. Don't glue it as one massive piece or putting it away. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. It does have clips, which I don't think I show you in the video. They go underneath it. If you look just in front of the silver piece at the back there, there's those little kind of eye-shaped pieces. They go underneath the thing and they hook it all together. It does suggest in the instructions putting them in place. And as usual, the instructions are not the easiest things to follow. And here we go. I'm going to push this in, and guess what? It's all going to fall to bits again because my luck. In. There we go. So yeah, it slots in like that, and then that obviously needs gluing. I do wonder if it would be easy to put these sides on first and then do it, because obviously it's a larger area. So if you glued the side in, built the side up, you can actually see the glue on the inside there. Just did it and then put the ends on, but I didn't try that experiment. I should have done. I didn't. Did I? I might have done with the second one, actually. It's how I may have done the second one, because there are 2 of these. It's a bit hard to see how they're positioned on the actual plans, but it's fairly nice. I like the fact that it's got the detail cut into it. It is very orky. You've got a couple of surrounding bulkheads, not bulkheads. What are the things on the edges of the castle? Like the turret, parapets. I don't know. I'm sure you know. I mean, yeah, again, these all go in a specific order, and I popped them all off and didn't keep them in the same order, so they didn't quite go back on properly for me. They're all locked up, though, and they all seem to fit. You just kind of got to follow the pattern. This is fairly common. We know this when I build stuff. I'm not paying attention, and I'm usually rushing. Or I drop it and I have to pick it up, and you know the chaos that causes. The second one went on a lot easier because that was still actually in the right order. And once I realised there was an order to it, it was a lot easier to do. So remember, when you're doing this bit, make sure they're in the right order. It looks nice at the end. Yet again, 2 of them to build. It's very orky. Well, is it orky? Now that's the question. For those of you that have been playing Warhammer for longer than 3rd edition, so for those of us that go right back to 1st edition and 2nd edition, didn't orcs kind of have like the Arab buildings like you'd see in Life of Brian? This thing is, I don't know what that was. Literally, there's 2 of them I built and put it to the side. Right, this is a bigger one. This is a big corner. I was talking about Life of Brian, wasn't I? Yeah, again, these have those little pegs inside and they click in and then they have to all sit. And once more, they need to go a certain way round and in a certain order. It did slot together a lot easier, as you can see. But yeah, so anyone remember the old Orc buildings? They're kind of white with the decaling around the top corners, and they look like they came from the Arab countries, and they were really cool. And then obviously Orcs became all about junk and scrap, and we went on to building rusted piles of trash as the fungus, as they were known as in, was it 3rd edition, got more and more prevalent. And obviously we had Gorkamorka, where they had crashed on their own planet, and that resulted in, well, chaos. Still, I miss Gorkamorka. That was such a good game. Right. Now, these are the back panels. They go around the back edge, and it makes the curve. Yet again, lovely detailed, lovely bits of detailing on them. As you can see. The whole thing, to be honest, is beautifully cut. The detail isn't too deep. There are loads, I mean loads of extra panels and pieces that go on it, and you can glue them anywhere you feel like. I actually glued a few on. It's very, very full of just stuff. And obviously you're also trying to line up all these panels as well as you go around. I'm not 100% sure if they have a correct order. They all have bits on them that line up neatly, so you can just work with that. On top of that, they get stuck as well. Remember, file your gaps. If you're gluing in, make sure you got your filed first, because you end up just damaging the MDF and it splits and causes you loads of problems. Don't get me wrong, TC Combat stuff is reasonably priced, it's reasonably built, but it can be a bit thick and the MDF can separate as you're putting things in. You get your tags on the end and they can get stuck and you've got to file them back, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff to it. There we go, that's the last one. That builds up the whole of this thing. Voila. Now what you don't see is me gluing it all together as we come to do the next bit. Now, see, there's the 2 with the parapets, and now we're doing the stairs to the front. This piece goes on the front on that section there in the gap that you can see clearly. I use one of the other pieces because obviously the holes are set up to match. So you have the stairs on the inside, which I'm just going to drop down there, and then these bits. Now, I did some messing around. You can use different edges. They all seem to match and fit up correctly, and they all have different bits that go on them, but I obviously was trying to line them up with the ones which are on the book. Not on the book, on the instructions. So it's one of those things, what we do. There's the top and that bit. Then if it will go together, this is the problem, I'm not gluing it, so it doesn't always fit properly. Well, it does fit properly, it's just it doesn't hold because I'm not gluing it, because, you know, I'm trying to show you guys how this goes together, and it's very awkward. But once you get it, it slots in there, go in. I remember saying that. Yeah, and it falls to bits. Let's try another one. But easiest way I found to do it, if you just line it up on there, this is where the stairs are meant to go, and then just slot everything in on that. It holds in position, and voila, it's done. See? And obviously they go on the back side, not on the front side. So remember that when you come to do it, you've got to put them on the back, not on the front. And there are several. They all have different lineups. I'm just mucking around here trying to work out which ones would go with which. That one there isn't actually suggested to go with that one, so I would avoid it. Overdoing the lattice is a little bit complicated. You could have the whole lattice. It does look quite interesting when you have the lattice top with the lattice sides and the lattice back. I don't know why. I just quite like it. I haven't done it like that. I've done it how it shows in the instructions. But you can do it your own way. They all fit on each other. This is what I'm really demonstrating here, is the fact that they all combine to connect together. And it doesn't seem to matter which ones you have. They just slot. So it's all good. Yeah. Right. What's coming next? Ooh, that's quite cool. See, that looks alright, doesn't it? What do you think? See, we pop that off. That'll slot on there. You can have on the other side and have them all swap round as well. Anyway, now these are the squares. They are quite large, but they're the straight sections. They've already got the ladders built in, and they go along parts, which you'll see at the end on the photos. The way they hook together, though, is once this is all done, you've got the ends on and so on. I think I forget to put the ends on. No, I do the ends. No, I do the ends. Once it's all hooked together and up. I like the fact there's holes in. When I painted this, I sprayed inside black. So the whole thing was sprayed black internally. And then I sprayed the silver on the outside. That was to let the shadows sit and hide within it. And to not use as much silver paint as I was going to. I then rusted it with one of the rust systems. I'm still getting used to using pigment powders and so on with the rusting, but it looks okay. I haven't put any actual colour on it yet. That is coming. The rusting stuff I used was actually one of the water wet ones, so when I tried to paint over it, it re-wet the paint and it started to run again, or re-wet the rust and started to run again. Yep, these slot into here. You would glue these in place. I'd suggest it because the hole isn't very big. And that, I think the idea is to hold the front on using those so you can dismantle it. But let's be honest, we glue them. Because just the way it is. We want our scenery to last and we want our scenery to work. Flat bit, as always, goes to the bottom. Spiky bit goes to the top. Because when you throw that Space Marine off the top of your thing, or your Eldar off the top of the thing, sorry, your Umi or your Beaky. No, Beakies are Umis. It's the pointy head ones, isn't it? They want to go onto a spike somewhere. And then, there you go. That's an extra panel. We just sit those in between them to give a display of more dimension and more metalwork on the thing. This is the end piece. I like the gated section on this. I think it's quite cool. It all slots up quite nicely. It was a pain in the neck to get because they are quite flimsy and we know I'm heavy-handed. But it all works, so it all slotted in. And went in quite well. Ooh. And there's the back, I think. That's the top. That's not the back, that's the top. Following the instructions is not always easy, and obviously all the different pieces, they don't have the detail on them on the artwork. When you do the instructions, you have to kind of work out which piece goes where from the holes. Finding that base piece was a nightmare because it hasn't got the cutout on it that they've used for the thinner rail on the side, which goes in. So that confused me a little bit, but not too much. And then obviously this bit slides in and drops down simultaneously, and it's a bit confusing. And you can see a tag on the side there where I forgot to get rid of it. And that goes into there and slides in the same way. It is a lovely kit, I'll be honest. I like it. And then, yeah, again, like the bigger straights, it uses those blade type sections to hold the sides on and stop them falling out. So we'll just glue those in place and have done with it. It looks cool, doesn't it? Right, the staircase. This is a bit of a headache because it likes to fall. You got to angle it and get it in and lock it off. And I think the way I did it in the end was I built it on the sides, and I tried to show you how it shows in the instructions here. But what I think I did is I ended up putting it through the side pieces, so one side into it, glued it in, put everything in, then fitted the other side. Because obviously the side section could hold it better. I'm fairly sure at one point it all falls to bits while I'm doing it like this. These little sections here, from what I can work out, don't have to go in any specific order. You can use different bits in different places because it's really hard to see which ones are meant to go where. And while I was doing it, I ended up when I put it together at the end, I just grabbed any pieces and quickly just stuck it all back together. Because I got quite angry at the fact I couldn't work out which piece was which and which angle was where and what wanted to go where, and I got quite lost trying to do it. Here we go, that's what's in. See, and then I've got to try and get this bit on there, which is now going to cause the weight to fall backwards, which continually knocks it over, and they all start falling out, and wanting to swear as I'm going along. Clearly I'm not doing. Well, you can't hear me. I didn't do any sound with these ones. I went back to the old way of... Oh, that one's in right. It has it in the back, so that's in backwards. I went back to the old way. I am doing the voiceover after the fact I've built it. Actually, this is a week after the fact I built it. Why, you say? I've been busy. I also wasn't sure if I could get away with doing the voiceover while the TV was on. But it turns out I can. Cheap microphone, but it can only pick up my voice that's directly in front of it. See, there we go. That's the step, and then you got to get the sides on. And I missed that bit. Yep. And I'm gonna cry. Go in, please go in, and everything falls to bits. I'm joking, or am I? I don't know. There we go. There. Nope, hasn't gone in, and this is the problem because one bit's popped out. Now you have another bit that's popped out, and you've got to realign it all. And now the bottom's about to fall off. I can see it already wiggling out a line here, and I'm not angry. See, another bit popped out. So as I said, what I did is I put it into the side and I just built it from the side and then glued it as I went along. Yeah, again, standard PVA, that bottle you often see me throwing around in the videos. Anyone else bored of my voice yet? I'm bored of talking. See, there it goes, fell to bits. I probably should have cut this here and... No, you need to see me getting it wrong. You know you do. We can't have me just getting it all right all the time. It's not how this works. It's how not to build with Dave, not how to build with Dave, isn't it? After all. I am now calculating how to do this. Because for some reason my brain has just gone, how do I do this again? Ooh. I am still here. I just thought I'd give you a moment of me not talking. Right. Done. We're going to put the top on. Let's top on. If you see those two large bits, the left and the right behind my hands, they are actually the sides. And see, now I've got that bit done. We're just going to click it in the side. There we go. That should hold it. And we're going to now build the next bit. You may also not realise this, but all of those bits that are shaped that are holding it up, yeah, they've all got mixed up. They're not in the right order now. I'd given up by this point of trying to get them into the right positions for what they should be. Mainly because you don't need to. They will work fine as they are. It is so much easier with that supporting in there because now all I've got to do is line that up and then they're all locked into place. Come on, go in. There, it's in. So remember, when you're doing this bit, just use the side. Just wiggle everything in, take your time, because obviously if you push too hard, you will break the MDF. Click, 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 and in. Now comes the awkward bit, because that bit at the bottom has popped out. That one is specifically for that bit. All the others will fit in any hole. That one is the only one that goes into that piece there. And it is a little bit of a snug fit. Now, that goes in there, because that is the back wall position. Also, like all the others, we have sections that go on the edge of this. There's long versions and short versions, and they don't marry up properly or mirror correctly. So I think there's 3 long sections on one side and 2 on the other, if memory serves. So yeah, 3 long ones along there, then a short one. And on the other side, it's 2 and 2 shorts. But yeah, again, these are designed to just pop. These are just designed to hold everything in place. But as you can see, one good push and they go flying. We're in. Yep. And there's the little one for the front. And then the other side. I actually think that tooth at the front is the wrong piece. There are loads of those in the set. But I think it's meant to be one with a square peg on it. And I think I grabbed the wrong one. It fitted, it worked. I'm not going to complain about it. It still looks fine. You should see at the end if I've positioned the photos correctly. And then we have a look. See, there we go. That other tooth goes there. That's it. They glue in and that's done. And of course, they're not glued in. They're going to fall off at the minute. Right. This is the final bit. This is the gatehouse. Now, this is kind of cool. I like the way the chain runs around it. Yet again, it's got some weird bits. Now, you may have noticed these holes in the bases as we go around. Yeah, they're kind of there for hooking the those eyepieces in. You can see there's a pile of them now at the back between the silver stairs and the corner of the first corners. There's that massive pile. That also matches up with quite a lot of the spares back there as well. Why you say? Because there's just loads of extra bits that go on this. Just as armour pieces and so on. You can really make it your own by just gluing these extra metal sheets all over the model if you want to. I quite like that. In case you're wondering, we are nearly to the end of the video. Yep, those pegs are quite handy. They actually hold those chains in place. The problem is, when I glued it, I've managed to snag one of those supports. You can see what I'm putting in now. And it's a slight angle to the chain, so they don't line up properly. But that is just, yet again, me being heavy-handed and clumsy. I think this gatehouse looks really cool, actually. I like the idea of it. As you can see, they just got a slot in, go in the hole. And then the panel's gone on the edge. The other side is exactly the same. It's just a perfect mirror of the two. Well, some slight differences in the sketching. Sketching. The lines that are not cut all the way through. I don't know what they're called. I build the stuff, I don't design the stuff. If I had a laser cutter, I probably would design the stuff, but I don't think I'd ever be anywhere near as good as quality as what we get out of the guys that already make it. Also, what would I build? Hab blocks, I guess, for District. 3D printing them worked, but yeah. Anyway. Here's the other side. As you can see, I'm not really struggling. I'm just... Without the glue, it doesn't hold so well. And I know the idea of this scenery is we don't glue it. You leave it so you can take it a bit, put it away and so on. Which over time doing that's going to weaken the joins anyway. So you may as well just get the PVA glue out and glue it. Let's be honest. You can see that they don't always line up. Well, they kind of got a wiggle on them. And there goes the camera. I need a better camera. I just can't afford a good one. We're nearly done. The back's falling off again. Yeah, again, another one. Turned upside down, sprayed it inside black. So when you look through those holes where the light should be, it just leaves shadow and darkness. And I'm still not going to show you the painted version. I might stick photos of it up on my Blue Sky when I finish it, but at the minute, no. That's the thing. Follow Blue. No, don't do that. I don't. I am too random to bother following, honestly. Yeah, again, these massive spiky bits that it's orcs. It's always spiky bits of orcs, isn't it? And once we got this, we have the door to do. I have a feeling I missed something. It's like a triangle barrier piece. You can see it just there. I can't remember if I make it or not on video, or if I did it afterwards. I know with one of the I think one of the squares, I forgot to put a panel on it. But you get the idea of how to build it. It's not exactly hard. This is the door. I like this. It has all these little clicky bits that go in the bottom, but they don't go all the way along on either side. It slides in quite nicely as well. See, if you look here, like just below the skull, there's like a block. I don't think they're meant to be the teeth for the skull, but they could be. And they're on both sides. I quite like it. I like the skull detail as well, to be honest. It's very Orc. Because, you know, not Screaming Skulls. What's Screaming Skulls from? It's a Space Marine chapter. I can't remember. And then that slots in there, but you just see it. It's falling to bits because it's not glued. There you go. Done. And that's the gate. Right, that's the gate done, as I said. And here come the glamour shots. Well, this is me done. I'm going to see you later. Enjoy.